Hi, hello, welcome back, welcome back. If you happen to find yourself on the depths of the internet today, then my name is Ella and this is my channel where I talk a lot and edit badly. So this is basically just what I've read in February. It's not that monumental of a concept. What is different about it is I am splitting it into two parts. The other part is going to be all of the thrillers, mystery, and horrors I read, and this is just going to be everything else, because I recently decided that I don't know what genres I actually enjoy when it comes to reading, so I've been basically just reading everything and figuring it out from there. I tried to read some romance in February, and that went, eh, eh, yeah. It went. It definitely went. Okay. So without further ado, here are 9 of the books that I read in February. I read 16. If you want to read the other 7, go watch my other video. Possibly, if you're interested in that. So the first thing I read in February is the Young Elites trilogy by Marie Lu, which consists of the Young Elites, the Rose Society, and the Midnight Star. And I gotta be honest, I did not expect to like this because young adult fantasy has never really been my thing. But I ended up absolutely loving this series. I listened to the audiobooks and they were all really good. My favorite book was the second one because it reminded me of my favorite book, Vicious Baby Eshwab. And I actually made an entire video dedicated to, but like, if you like this, then read this, and half of that video is just me comparing the two series. So if you want me to go more in depth in that, definitely go check out that video. But as for my general feelings on this, I really liked the world building and the magic system. I thought it was super interesting. And I really just loved all of the characters so much. I loved Adelina. I loved Raffaele. He was my favorite, him and Adelina. I loved them both so much. Ah! I was listening to it, it just felt very beautiful, everywhere they were. And again, I was never really one for majestic things, but just listening to that and listening to the beautiful world and different places within that world was so rich and beautiful. I read the entire series in 4 days, and I was just so into it. I love the morally grayness, the different philosophies of the different characters. It was just super, super good and a total surprise, and I'm very happy I read it. As for star ratings, I gave the Young Elites 3 stars, the Rose Society 4 stars. That one was very close to getting a 5-star, and the Midnight Star 4-star, which many people don't like that because they don't like the end of it. But I very much did enjoy the end of it, and not even that, I felt like that's how it had to end. I don't think there could be another ending. Take that as you will. The next thing I read, I'm very scared to say because I think people will at me if I don't like this book. And that is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. Please don't hate me. This is a book. It's a romance, it's an adult romance book about this girl named Chloe Brown who decides she needs to get a life after almost dying. No, she just witnessed a car crash and she was like, wow, that could be me. And so she makes a whole list of things like go camping or do something bad and stuff like that. And she recruits her apartment manager, handyman dude, Red, and they kind of hate each other, but at the same time they totally don't, and they fall in love. I really didn't like this book, and everyone else does, and I feel really bad because I want to like it. I don't like romance that much, the romance genre, but it's only because it's seasonal. I like it in the summertime when it's light and fluffy and I don't really have to worry about anything, but it's the depths of winter right now. And I was not feeling this book. It's not enemies to lovers. in a book that advertises itself as enemies to lovers, they didn't even dislike each other. And it got lovey-dovey way too fast. This whole thing took place in such a short amount of time, and especially on a basis of a relationship that was based on, like, banter and then sexual, like, attraction. It just got to, like, the lovey-dovey stuff way too quickly, and I'm like, this isn't justified. You say I love you way too quickly. But that's, again, just a me thing. Like, this is all just me things. The ending conflict, I mean, even people who like the book don't like the ending conflict. And then it was resolved right away. I'm like, so why did it happen? Oh, sorry, that's my plague doctor mask. It's hanging on my door for the next part of my video. But just because I feel bad about giving this a 2-star, here's things I did like about it. I really liked Talia Hibbard's writing style. I really liked the banter, because I just love reading banter in general. And I really liked the focus on Red's mental health, because I know that male mental health isn't always the best represented in media. So, again, take that as you will. Okay, the next book I read, Beartown, by Frederick. I don't know if it's Bachman or Backman, but I read Beartown. And I gave it a 5-star. It's my first 5-star of the year. I loved it. I've been really getting into literary fiction lately, and it's, gotta say, it's like my jam. Like, this book, it took, like, there was a slight learning curve. There was a lot of characters. It's about hockey, which isn't my jam. But all the characters were so well explored and in-depth. And even the characters that first appeared unlikable, you found out that they did have likable qualities. The characters that seemed likable had unlikable qualities. And then there's this one character who I did really like in the first, like, part of it. I don't know, like, how many pages, because I also listened to the audiobook. But then I ended up absolutely despising him. And, yeah, and I feel like a lot of people who read that book feel the same way about this particular character. I don't want to spoil it. And this book made me feel a whole range of emotions, and I was just, like, there with the characters. And any book that can make me feel emotions is greatly welcome these days, so. I was also very impressed about, like, the accuracy of the feelings of teenage characters from, like, a middle-aged man writing this book. And it was, like, better at writing teenagers than some young adult books. I was very impressed by that, too. Maya, the girl, yeah, I really liked her. Her and Benji were my favorite in this book, in case you were wondering. I don't know why I feel the need to say all my favorite characters from the books, but I do. So, I get way too attached to characters, okay? I was gonna say take that as you will, but I've said that like 5 times already, so. Okay, my next book was a reread, of Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Is that how you say the last name? I don't know. Everyone knows this book. It's the one where the first son of the United States falls in love with the Prince of Wales, or, yeah. This book, I just really needed some good escapism, and this book is just escapism. It's, like, fluffy and cute, and it has banter in it, and it's also, like, political escapism. It's, like, America isn't falling apart in this book. And there's a female president who won the both 2016 and 2020 election. That's probably a spoiler, so I apologize, but it's not like anyone actually watches these videos anyway. But yeah, and I know I just said I hated romance, but I did read this book last summer, so I have a lot of good memories associated with it. And when I read this, I really needed to read it. I really needed some good, positive, happy vibes, and I loved it. I loved rereading it, and I will probably continue to reread it whenever I'm sad. Yeah. Take that as you will. Next book sadly was also a romance that I did not enjoy as much as I wanted to, and that is The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics by Olivia Waite. Is that how you pronounce it? I apologize if it's not. Maybe Watt. This is a book about these 2 ladies, and they fall in love. For no reason. I did not like these characters at all. They were so flat. They were so flat. None of them had personalities, and they didn't even see anything in each other. They were just like there, so they fell in love. And I'm like, good for you, but I don't get it. Like, neither of you have pointed out one thing you like in the other. There's this one part at the end where they were saying like all the positive things about each other, and I'm like, I want to know. It's not like you were developed at all. In my defense, though, this book is a historical romance based in science, and as we established, I don't like historical fiction, I don't like romance, and I don't like science. So why I thought I was gonna like this book, I have no idea. There was also a 10-year age gap between the characters, and like a very clear maturity age gap, and that made me very uncomfortable. Also, the pacing was so weird. I did not get this book at all. I did not like this book at all. And I gave it 2 stars, but I kind of want to give it 1 star, but I feel bad because it is also clearly a me thing. Like, if I was a different person, I'd like this book. But I don't, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, okay? I'm sorry. Take that as you will. What am I saying? I liked this next one, though. It was a pretty good reading month, actually. And that is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. This book is also Escapism 101, and, okay, what's this book about? It's about Liz, and she did not get the financial aid she wanted for the college she really wants to go to escape her, like, hick white town that she doesn't want to be part of it. It's all prom obsessed. She doesn't get prom or anything. But she does sign up to being the prom queen, like, candidacy. Is that the word? I don't know. To get the scholarship money. You know, because you have to be prom queen now to go to college. That says a lot, but I love this book. It was so cute. Liz ends up having feelings for this other girl in the race named Amanda, I think. And they were so cute, although Amanda was, like, underdeveloped, and the relationship was a little too quick, but, like, who cares? I overlooked that really fast. The writing style was, also a bit clunky at times, and it relied a lot on cliches, but again, overlooked that because this book was so cute, and even more than that, the main character Liz, the way that her anxiety was written, resonated very deeply within me. And also, she is a person who does not like to be, like, just touched or hugged or, like, anything like that, especially by people she doesn't know, and that is, like, okay. Hi. I just very, very deeply resonated with that. That's something that's never, ever written about in fiction. Like, especially in young adult fiction that have romances at their core. It was just very, very special for me to read a book like this. I've only read one other book like that, and it was Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. And that also, like, barely both of those books could afford to dive into it way more, just so I can feel validated, but I liked how, like, it wasn't a big thing. It was just normal for Liz to feel like this, which is great, because it just needs to be something that's normal, guys, okay? Another thing I really liked about this book is how, like, relevant the references were to teenagers. I'm thinking of this one part I highlighted, which is just them comparing Liz to Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And a bunch of other stuff that I didn't tab. But this book, I was like, wow, this could actually be a conversation that people at high school have. And I found that very impressive, because usually teenagers in books are not written very realistically, spoken by a teenager. So. And one more book, and this is another one I'm scared. I gave this a 4-star. The last book I read was, please don't kill me, Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I gave it a less than ideal rating, because I did not connect with this book at all. I was really getting into literary fiction, and I know Celeste Ng is a huge name in literary fiction, so I thought that I would try one of her books. And so I read Little Fires Everywhere. I just didn't I just didn't connect with it at all. I didn't connect with any of the characters. I didn't care about them. I didn't care about the plot. I didn't even care for the writing style. I thought it jumped into characters' heads a lot. I, it wasn't bad. It was good. Like, objectively, it was good. I just didn't care for it. You know? I don't even know. I don't think my notes know either. I said the plot never grabbed me. It was generally forgettable among other literary fictions, and I stand by that. So, I apologize. I really wanted to like it, and I feel bad for not liking it. That's it. That's what I read. And so again, if you want to check out my other video, then go check out my other video and like, you know, the normal stuff. So, oh god, okay, I'm tired. Bye.